Introducing golf shoe technology for the millennium. The Hi-Tec Green Friend story continues.
Love the grip and stability.
They're so light and comfortable.
The Green Friend sole's really starting to make a difference on the greens.
Hi-Tec Golf produces an extensive range of footwear using leading-edge technology.
So come on then and join the Green Friend evolution.
Hi-Tec Golf.
Winning comfortably.
Hello and welcome back to today's Now Sports Speed Eskimo Challenge. We're here enjoying a nice balmy English summer evening at the Wassing Estate near Reading in the UK. You can just see the barbecue being cooked behind us. We're all getting ready for a party in a few minutes, and rightly so, because it was over 7 hours ago that the teams first left this big blue blow-up start line that you can see behind me and set out to tackle the rigours of today's Speed Challenge. Stick with us over the next 15 minutes because we'll come to a very dramatic climax and see which team were victorious on today's course. And that's all coming up on today's Now Sports Speed Eskimo special. Okay, now in this kind of event, the guys who you can see actually finishing just behind me now, they're coming through the start line, have to tackle all sorts of terrain that I wouldn't even dream of. So we sent our intrepid reporter Amy Holland out into the field to see what sort of thing these guys here could be expecting today.
This is the course that the Blue Eskimo competitors are going to have to face. Set over 3,000 acres, they'll have to run through woodland, mountain bike over rocky ground and swim through muddy water. And if that's not bad enough, they have to hit 31 passport control points on the way and do the whole thing in less than 8 hours. Now with me now is Dan Harris, one of the event organisers. Dan, what is adventure racing?
Adventure racing is a sport for mixed teams where they'll do any kind of outdoor activity. Mountain biking, trail running, rock climbing, abseiling, canoeing, all set within the confines of the course.
And this event is split into 3 courses, course 1, course 2, course 3. So the competitors are going to start behind us, reach this point and then have to decide whether or not they want to go left to the zip line or right to the river run. And I think as we've got our bikes, we should go right to the river run.
Great stuff.
So Dan, how long will it take the guys to get from there to this point?
It'll take 10 minutes for the fast teams and about 20 minutes for the slower teams.
And will they pass any control points on the way?
Yeah, there's one just back there a bit.
Now I spy with my little eye a passport control point over there, and it looks very easy to get to, but we're not allowed just to nip over there and get it, are we, Dan?
No, can't do that, that's too easy. So what they're going to do is when they get to this point, they'll probably dump their bikes, run up the path about 50 metres, then they'll jump into the water and they'll do a combination of walking and swimming to get to this point, to get their PCP.
Now the water looks clean, but it's not that clean, so I don't think we'll bother going in today. We'll leave it for the competitors. But the competitors could choose to go left and head up towards the zip line. And they'd end up here. Now there's no zip line at the moment, but there will be later on today. So Dan, where have they got to go from and to? Okay,
they'll go up to that tree up there where they'll rig into their harness, they'll connect into the rope, and then they'll fly across the valley about 70 to 80 metres to a tree over the far side.
Right, maybe a silly question, but is it safe?
Oh, I think it will be. With the harness and the safety line, they won't have a problem.
So you're not planning on anyone falling out?
No, not in this lovely bracken, no.
This is course 2 now, and the competitors are going to do most of this course on foot, and there are 13 passport control points that they have to hit. So Dan, what's going on here? The people busy working away?
Yep, they're setting up the rope activity. What will happen is the competitors will run to here, then they'll do a postman's walk across to the other side. That's where there's 2 ropes, they'll grab onto one with their hands and shift across on their feet. Might get a little bit wet depending how heavy they are. Then coming back, they'll do a Tyrolean traverse. That's where they've got a harness on and they're hanging upside down and they're pulling themselves along on the rope.
And are you planning for many people to be in the water rather than walking across it?
Well, there's no safety line on this part, on the postman's walk, so if they fall in, they're going to get wet.
That's their problem.
There it is.
This is course 3, where the competitors are going to combine mountain biking, running and the swimming. Now Dan, it's pretty remote up here, so what have the competitors got to do?
In course 3 they have 15 PCPs to get to, 5 on their bike and then another 10 on foot. So what we think, this being a most remote point, they'll actually bike here first, do this part. And what they do here is they'll go in the bank, they'll swim out around 2 buoys and then they'll come back to the shore. So the swim's approximately 200 metres in length.
Okay, and hopefully before they get in the water, they'll have read this sign, danger, deep water.
Yeah, and please notice Amy looked at the challenges, spoke about the challenges, but didn't actually have a go herself. I think that tells us a lot. And I'm pleased to say I'm now joined once again by Danny Hullier, who joined us earlier on today. Danny, we can see the guys finishing behind us. Very brave people, every single one of them. It's been a great day, really, hasn't it?
It has been. Unfortunately, there's been a little bit dehydration and cramps because people haven't been keeping up with hydration. But other than that, it's been fantastic. I mean, it's a little bit different to our normal sort of format, but everybody seems to have enjoyed the zip lines and the Tyroleans and things like that. So.
I certainly enjoyed looking at them, but only looking at them, and I've certainly enjoyed the sun. Now, you mentioned this was a little different to the other formats. Just to explain the difference between Speed Eskimo and Blue Eskimo.
Right, Blue Eskimo is essentially starts at 8 o'clock on the Saturday morning, finishes about lunchtime on the Sunday, so it's
that's
a
30 hours.
Yeah.
And when will that be happening?
That's the first one's the end of July. Next one after that will be end of August, and we've got one mid-September, one early October. So we've got 4 races between now and
right. So if that was the marathon, then this would be the sprint, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. You've had a good day?
I've had an excellent day, a bit sunburned, but yeah,
Okay, and will you join us for a burger from the barbecue later on?
Definitely, yeah.
Lovely. Well, I'll certainly be having a burger from the barbecue. Well, it really has been a very tough course for everybody concerned. And as I say, I stay here because it's nice and safe, and we send Amy out to do all of the nasty stuff. And she was there with the competitors every single step of the way to see how they fared on sections 1 and 2 of today's very, very nasty course.
The Blue Eskimo event is underway, and as you can see, the competitors are raring to go. Most of them have been here overnight and are full of energy, but we're going to come back to them in a couple of hours and see just how lively they still are. Oh, is that it? It's all right. The red cubes indicate the challenges the competitors face on course 1, and the yellow dots are passport control points. Just a minor slip-up for that competitor. And there's another hitch at the zip line. There's a 20-minute queue, so competitors are choosing to miss out this challenge and take a 10-minute penalty instead. After swimming through 50 metres of water, Paul for Cats thought they'd found one of the hardest to reach passport control points. But when you're orienteering, not everything goes to plan.
Get up there! Go on! Call for Cats! Top man! At least your shoes will be clean now. Go for it.
This isn't ours.
Are you joking?
This is number 6.
The competitors have nearly finished the first part of the course, but as you can see behind me, they're looking absolutely exhausted. But they can't sit down and have a rest because there's still lots more to come. On course 2, the competitors' rope skills are put to test over land and over water.
3, 2, 1, go!
With some teams barely having a chance to dismount from their bikes, the whistle went again and section 2 was underway.
We got a bit of a queue before on the Tyrolean Traverse, but you know, you can choose to leave it or not. I mean, I don't think we're doing particularly well at the moment anyway, so I may as well just go and enjoy the activities.
Well, most people think it takes too long to actually get crossed, but just this team, they was absolutely marvellous. They went like big times, so it was really, really good.
Okay, now Sarah, I noticed, was particularly quick. Is she sort of the fastest person you've seen go across?
From the females, definitely. Like, she just flew over the track big times. So, yeah, she done well. Good team. They're probably going to win, is it?
And with the full Smurfs of the apocalypse.
Oh, that's you.
That's us. Come on, Joe. Nice one, love. I like the one where the nettles were actually taller than my head and my hands above my head. That was painful.
Literally just go straight down on the path all the way until we hit a junction. Take a left and then follow that straight down on the boundary to hit the next one.
Although the Now.com team hadn't done as well as they hoped, they kept their spirits up and prepared themselves for section 3.
Want a card? Yeah.
I think my favourite quote is the girl who had nettles higher than her. That shows just how hard this course is. So that was sections 1 and 2. Let's have a look at where the guys were standing at the end of those sections. Bear in mind there was section 3 still to come. At that time, Blue Eagles were in the first position. It took them 5 hours and 4 minutes. That's combined total for both the sections. High Five in second. Cool for Cats, 6 hours 38 minutes. They were in third place. Then there was a joint fourth place, and poor old Now.com sitting down there in 6th place with 7 hours 45 minutes. So there you go, that was sections 1 and 2, and at that point I would have been lying on the floor completely out of breath, but not these guys. They still had one more section to go. It's section 3. Here's how it went.
The Now.com team refused to be defeated, and after a drink and some rest, started section 3 with a new lease of life. But the course leaders, Blue Eagles, continued to power around the course, leaving the other teams in their wake.
What was that like? Cold, damp, muddy, much like the rest of it, really.
Like their namesake, a cooling swim was just what the Cool for Cats team needed. But there was no stopping the Blue Eagles, who crossed the line in superb time, and they've already said they'll be back for the next event.
Those guys must have been just so worn out, and I'm now pleased to say that one of the men who probably was worn out a little while ago but is so fit he's no longer puffing, it's Nick English, the team leader from the winners Blue Eagle, or the guys that we think are the winners. Now, you finished in 8 hours 56 minutes. Congratulations to you. How did you find the course out there today?
The course was long, hot, and running around in the woods trying to find the pegs was difficult at times.
OK, now let's just talk about tactics, because some people might insinuate that you kind of cheated because some of the obstacles took ages to do. Yeah. So you could ignore them, incur a 10-minute penalty, but if it took half an hour to do the obstacle, then you still kind of made up 20 minutes. That's what you did rather than tackle everything, didn't you?
We did 2 of the obstacles. We did the zip line to start with, and we had to wait 35 minutes to actually get on it. So we lost 25 minutes of time there. And we did the river run, but we thought both the postman's walk and the swim were just going to incur us too much time.
And we have to say, I saw the postman's walk, it looked tough, but the old river walk must have been nice, because very hot day, nice to be in the water.
Pleasant to get in there with half an hour left.
OK, now this was 8 hours, this was basically a sprint for some people. Will you tackle the 30-hour bonanza?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. I think it'll be a little tougher and require a little bit more mental resilience than this one, though.
Superb. All I can say is that you do need your brain tested, but congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We think that you've won this event. Just for the record, Now.com made it in 15 hours, 20 minutes. But, you know, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, everyone gets to sit down and have a burger. But that's all from the Wassing Industrial Estate here. I hope you had a lovely day. We certainly had a great time here. And as always, log on to the website and check out all the other footage for the next few weeks. See you later. Bye-bye.
You know, I can understand why the players like this tournament, David.
Yeah, they've got a very nice hotel, but I don't know about you. I think ours is just that little bit better.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Hello and a warm welcome to our final day's coverage of the duty-free Dubai Open for 2000. As you can see, we're in the glorious Burj Al Arab Hotel, which simply means Arabian Tower. And David Mercer, it is quite splendid, isn't it?
It's incredible, isn't it? It's the most luxurious hotel in the world. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
A great way to end a great week of tennis for us.
Yep, the two finals, of course, the doubles final first. We've got David Rickel and Yuri Novak against Peter Tremacki and Robbie Koenig.
Hello and welcome to Now Sport. I'm Sasha Upton. Plenty of sports going on around the globe this weekend, and we've got an action-packed show planned for you today. Let us know what you think. The address is sport@now.com.
Yeah, please do get in touch. It's the weekend, so help us celebrate. I'm Jake Humphrey, and do you know what? We're not called Network of the World for nothing. Oh no, we aim to bring you, our valued viewer, the best in television and internet entertainment every single day from right around the world. Let's have a look what we've got in store for you today.
An historic day for Sachin Tendulkar of India, but would it be enough to beat Australia?
Very good question, Sasha. And in the race, Tony Bullimore still sailing along. We speak live to the old man of the ocean.
Plus, later on in the update is our final edition of the Sham Jam. Stay with us. But we start today's show with cricket, and India have returned to form in the third one-day international against Australia at Nehru Stadium in Indore. India's batting maestro Sachin Tendulkar making history, becoming the first batsman to reach the 10,000 run mark in limited overs cricket. Let's see how the Indians got on in the rest of their innings.
With the series level at 1 apiece, the crowd at Indore were ready for an absolute thriller in this, the third of a 5-match series. And they didn't have to wait too long. 7 overs and 32 runs in fact, before Damien Fleming tempted Rahul Dravid, Adam Gilchrist capitalising on a thin edge. Sachin Tendulkar made an uncharacteristic start to his innings, but opened up 4 overs later with a cracking square cut off Fleming to bring up the 50. A few balls later, the little maestro produced another 4, this time a cover drive, Fleming again on the receiving end. But it was the last ball of the 18th over of this innings that will be the most memorable. Tendulkar, at just 27 years of age, came down the track and took a single off Shane Warne to reach 34 not out, but more importantly reaching the historic landmark of 10,000 runs in international one-day cricket. As India surged to 157 for 1 in just 30 overs, the partnership of VVS Laxman and Tendulkar yielded 125 runs in just 22 overs. Warne was again the victim as Tendulkar swept for 4, bringing up his 50 in just 56 balls. Laxman was just 12 runs short of his century before the number 3 batsman was run out on 88 runs, leaving India with an impressive 231 for 2. It proved to be just the breakthrough the Australians needed, as just 3 balls later, Fleming got Ganguly for a duck to pick up his second wicket of the innings. Aman Badabi pushed the score along to 268 before he was run out, but the biggest blow of the innings followed as Tendulkar was caught by Fleming off the bowling of Glenn McGrath. Tendulkar once again the hero of the day with a colossal 139 runs to his name. That proved the undoing for India as Ian Harvey dismissed Ajit Agarkar for just 1 run before Glenn McGrath picked up his 200th international one-day wicket. Viday Jahir clean bowled for a duck. 2 balls later, the Australian onslaught continued as McGrath took his 3rd wicket. Dinesh Mongia caught and bowled, India 284 for 8. Harbhajan Singh and Sahir Khan added another 15 runs to set the world champions a total of 300.
India would finish the day 299 for 8 then. Sachin Tendulkar with 139 and a place in the cricket record books, making him the first batsman in history to achieve the 10,000 run milestone in limited overs cricket. Congratulations to him. And I'm joined now by Surrey and England bowler Ian Salisbury to talk about the match. Ian, thanks a lot for coming in.
Good afternoon.
An inspired performance from India, really, in total. But let's start with talking about that performance of Sachin Tendulkar. 10,000 runs in limited overs cricket. That's a unique achievement, isn't it?
It's amazing. I must admit, when I looked at the preview of the game, it said Sachin Tendulkar needed 34 runs to break the record. And when heroes like this get into this situation in games, you always fancy they'll do something special in times like this. You saw the banners around the ground. Everybody was expecting him to get 10,000 runs today. And he did. I mean, he got the record, but he didn't just stop there. He went on to get, another 100, which I think is 28th, which is also a record in itself.
And here's a look at some of his
I mean, he would have got a lot of pleasure. I mean, Shane Warne's not having the best of tours in India at the moment, and there he is, scoring the runs off him. If he's going to get the record off anybody, what better bowler to get it off than Shane Warne?
Shane Warne's not really had a good time this autumn. We were talking a few days ago about his performance, and people have been saying whether or not it's the end of the line for him. Do you think it might be?
It's always easy to write off champions. I would never write off a champion. The guy's the best spin bowler that's ever played the game. It's very easy to write, people off, but when somebody's a proven champion, I would never write him off too soon.
Y'all, non-stop, y'all, to the beat, y'all, the body rock, y'all, so let's rock, y'all, non-stop, y'all, to the beat, y'all, the body rock, y'all, so let's rock, y'all, chance, and it's there!
With the World Championship.
Jones.